Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble. 'Tis All Hallows Eve, a night of frights. Are you ready for an Oh, you guys aren't buying any of this, are you?
No.
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 Nope.
No!
Just cue the intro. Hey there, YouTubers, and welcome to another Halloween special of Reviewing the Web with your hostess, Ashley Winsong. Now, obviously, this is pretty much the Nights of Frights, Halloween, or as it was called during the olden days, All Hallows Eve, which was believed at that time that was when all the ghouls, the ghosts, the witches, and all those evil creatures decided to come out and terrorize everybody. Well, more than usual. Obviously, that isn't believed anymore, but nowadays, it's actually a really fun holiday where we all of us, including the kids, dress up as something we're not, go out trick-or-treating, or if there's maybe one or two about, go to a Halloween party. Kind of have the reason why I'm wearing this hood here to celebrate the holiday. Although, hold up. There. Now you can actually see my hair clip. Anyway, as you can also tell, this is my second Halloween special for the web series. And today, we're going to be, once again, looking at the top, or at least my top 20 Halloween specials. What can I say? I tried to put up 10, but there was just too many to even choose from.
Which is a big surprise considering that you have yet to finish even the script for the next episode of your series.
Shut up, Barty! Ugh. Ignore him. He's my dream guide. Cute and all, but annoying as heck.
It would also help if you actually listen to what I have to say half the time, you knucklehead.
Hold that thought.
Ah! Dang it, Ashley!
Don't you just love magic? Anyway, before anything else happens, let's look at least my choices in the top 20 Halloween web specials.
Number 20. This is Nightmare Night, a Nightmare Before Christmas / My Little Pony parody by 24 Railway Cuttings. Yes, I know, there have been many covers to the popular holiday movie The Nightmare Before Christmas and have been ponified, as it were. But believe it or not, this is one of the few that have been done very well. Though there's no skit and there's just a title cover in the video, at least when you look it up on YouTube. 24 Railway Cuttings, joined by Ace Games UK and a theatrical songbird, does an amazing job on this. Then again, he seems to have a talent for changing the lyrics to fit a certain story or genre. Not to mention that he has quite the gift to change his voice to fit each character, as they can be seen if you were to look at his past works, especially his TF2 / MLP crossover songs. But that's a review for another day. Anyway, the tune remains as catchy as the original, and the ponies who take the place of the monsters mentioned in the original is practically just spot on. Truly worth the listen for any MLP fan on Halloween night, or Nightmare Night in Brony's case. Number 19. Forever a Cat, an NCIS / Hocus Pocus fan story by Dragon in the Moonlight. In this fan story, Zachary Binks, the cursed cat, is living his life as Agent McGee after using a white-based spell to turn himself human, which would eventually break with the return of the Sanderson sisters. Of course, thanks to one of his colleagues getting a kid to light the black candle, excuse me. The witches return to steal the life force of the children, and it's up to our favorite members of the NCIS crew, including the human-turned-cat, to stop them. Sadly, this is one of those incomplete stories that were never finished. Still, it's enjoyable to read, even if it's not finished. Not to mention that at least it leaves the readers to imagine what happens to the group, whether they want to go along with the lines of the movie or not. So, all in all, still worth the read for this Halloween. Number 18. Mysteries of Gravity Falls, Ride of the Ghost Train, a Gravity Falls fan story by Mando Commando. In this fan story, the Pine Twins and their friends investigate an old railway station that's supposedly haunted by a ghost train from the time of the Great Depression. And to their shock and surprise, the stories end up being true. Well, to an extent. They pretty much end up on the train and in time discovered what happened to it and the crew working on it. Now, while it may be only a little frightening, depending on how you look at it, of course, this is very enjoyable to read. It even gets rather emotional at one point, that you can't help but be touched by the moment. It's decently well written, describes the people and places well. It's just all around perfect for the little kiddies if you're looking to tell a spooky story that's safe for them to hear. Even if it is a Gravity Falls fan story. Number 17. Scout's Nightmare, aka The Russian Spy Halloween Special, a TF2 fan video by GMP. Now, granted this starts off a bit goofy, but as the story progresses, it becomes quite frightening. Even to the point where it leaves you questioning on what could be a worse nightmare than what Scout woke up from. While the voiceover is just voice clips from the popular game Team Fortress 2, the movements are decent where it doesn't feel as though it was half-baked. Not to mention that the point where the viewers are briefly seeing through the Scout's eyes and seeing the horrors that appear to get worse as he's trying to find a way out. It's actually pretty clever. I'll admit, for such a short video, it's okay to watch, especially for Halloween. Number 16. Team Fortress 2 Into the Forest, a TF2 fan video by Jack Mew. Now, this TF2 video is actually somewhat based on the popular TV series Gravity Falls, which depicts the weird and mysterious summer adventures of twin siblings Dipper and Mabel. At least for those who don't know what the TV series are. But that's neither here nor there. In this video, the medic is actually a researcher of the supernatural and mysteries of the forest he makes his home in. As the story progresses, we see at least a small fraction of what he deals with on a daily basis and how. Sometimes, as we see at the near end of the video, he's able to capture the creatures and keeps them contained, for the sake of science, of course. Though the few voices heard in it are actually voice clips from the game, this video is very well made. The animation is smooth, the story is captivating, and by the end of it, leaves you wanting to know what happens next, yet instead leaves it to your imagination. Trust me, even if it's not technically a Halloween video, it'll definitely leave your heart pumping from the creatures alone. Basically, worth the watch this Halloween. Number 15. The Team Fortress 2 Scream Fortress Comics Dubbed videos by Ben Paddock. Now, I know that there are a lot of comic dubs on YouTube, some of which are actually of the TF2 comics that can be found on the Team Fortress website. Yet out of all the dubbers of this particular franchise, Ben Paddock, at least to me, is one of the most talented voice actors I've ever seen dubbing this. I'm not kidding here. He's so good that his Scout voice is nearly on par with the actual voice actor who does the voice of the character in the actual game. And in these Halloween comics, this is no exception. The first comic dub is about Dumberman telling a group of trick-or-treaters how he lost his eye on Halloween night at the hands of Erasmus, a powerful wizard of the dark arts, who's also the soldier's roommate. The next one is about Soldier explaining to the group how he turned Erasmus' home into a raccoon sanctuary and burned his body while his spirit ranted. Threatened Soldier. The third comic is about the Mann brothers coming back as ghosts and fighting over who died first. Yeah, I know, but they're brothers. What did you expect? The fourth is where Erasmus is setting up an evil carnival and needs the mercs to kill in order to give the place power, or something like that. And finally, in the last Halloween comics, and I personally find this one as one of my favorites, the mercs are enjoying themselves at their Halloween costume party, some of which are playing a type of Dungeons & Dragons game with Miss Pauling, who's voiced by Kathleen Buckley, another talented voice actress who sometimes joins Ben's in these comic dubs. Sadly, the fun is interrupted by Erasmus, who once again needs in the fight to gather souls or something. Truthfully, the comics alone are still enjoyable and fun to read, yet Ben Paddock manages to bring a certain feeling of life to the comics, not only making you briefly forget that they're nearly all voiced by the same guy, but it even can get to the point where you can't help but feel that it's more than a comic. Trust me, it's worth the watch, especially if you're looking for a giggle or two this Halloween. Number 14. Pony and Man Episode 15, Halloween. A My Little Pony / Team Fortress 2 fan show by FD Daylight. As you can tell, this is basically a crossover video series of Team Fortress 2 and My Little Pony. And in this episode, Scout and Rainbow Dash get stuck in Miraz's world. Thus, they have to escape before he and a magic-hunting Demoman find them in order to drain Jasher for magic. And before all you bronies and Pegasuses out there say anything about how Dash isn't a unicorn, keep in mind that her kind can walk on clouds and control the weather, thus they have to have some magic in them. Plus, she's the element of loyalty, thus part of one of the most powerful magics in Equestria. Sorry about that. Now back to the episode in question. Though the voiceover are just voice clips from the game and show, the animation is pretty decent. Not to mention that FD Daylight has in fact cleverly made it as more of a show than speaking type of show. At least before he found some voice actors and actresses for it later on. The story is well done and easy to follow. The cues for sounds, movements, and effects are spot on. And though the episode is technically a two-parter, it still leaves the viewers excited for what happens next. Truly perfect for the more adventurous and excitement story-seeking group of the TF2 MLP fans this Halloween. Number 13. The Haunted, a Gravity Falls fan story by Disney Channel Lover. In this fan story of Gravity Falls, Dipper and Mabel are being haunted by a strange man who looks suspiciously like their Grunkle Stan, and it is up to their friends and family to save them, especially when the mystery shack becomes a literal house of horrors for the group. I'll admit, while it was only a few chapters and everything turned out okay in the end, not saying how, this story actually had me at the edge of my seat a few times. Heck, at one point, I thought for sure that one of the characters died due to not being mentioned for a while after the screams were heard, but the group couldn't find them right away. It's very well written, describes what happens nearly perfectly, and it leaves you hoping for the group to get out alive. All in all, so worth the read if you're looking for a story to get your heart pounding. Number 12. Nightmare Night 2014 by Anthony C. In this cute little Halloween video, a group of bronies / Pegasuses get stuck in a graveyard playing a game hosted by a long-dead analyst. Animation's pretty cute and impressive. The dialogue and skits are clever. Not to mention that the fact that the players have to answer their own hate mail is a twist that even I didn't see coming when I first saw it. So, even if you're not a fan of My Little Pony, I can promise you that you'll get a kick out of this. Number 11. Halloween at Freddys by Bonnie Bunny. Now, while there's plenty of fan-made music videos and songs for Five Nights at Freddy, I actually find myself enjoying this one. As you can see, it's basically a fan-made animated music video of a fan-made Five Nights at Freddy Halloween song simply called Halloween at Freddy's by Try Hard Ninja to celebrate the holiday. While the animation quality may not be on a professional level, it's still enjoyable and fun to watch. Not to mention that the song itself holds a good balance of creepiness and fun to dance to. All in all, it's worth the watch. Or a listen if you're just looking for the music. Number 10. Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location, a Let's Play by Markiplier. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of these Let's Plays out there, but I actually found myself liking this one. And not just because it's done by Markiplier. While it still somewhat makes the whole thing funny with his voiceover bit, the fact that the game itself looks very different in gameplay compared to the past Five Nights at Freddy's games. Not to mention that the location, story, and jump scares are just as frightening, if not more so than in the other games. As to how I know that is, well...
Ow!
Yeah, enough said. Anyway, if you're looking for a certain Let's Play of the new Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location, with a bit of humor in it, and just in time for Halloween, this is the one for you. Number 9. Bill's Human Sacrifice, a Gravity Falls fan video by Becky Tiger Katschen. Yes, I know, there's already plenty of versions of the song Alice of Human Sacrifice, whether it's in animation form, dub, music videos, or parodies and covers. But this one is surprisingly very well done. While the song itself, as well as the translation, is in fact the original song and lyrics by Yugami P, the cast and the imagery is actually the crew for Gravity Falls. They pretty much consist of Bill as the little dream who created Wonderland to lure people in, Wendy as the red Alice who was the warrior, Gideon as the blue Alice who was the singer who lied to the people, Pacifica as the green Alice who became a ruler of a kingdom and stayed as such to escape death, and finally, Dipper and Mabel as the yellow twins who wander in Wonderland and never woke up. Much like in the original video of Alice of Human Sacrifice, it's in the style of a stilled animation, and let me tell you, it is beautifully done. What's more, each picture was done by Becky Tiger Caxton, which only proves their talent in art and imagery. Heck, their choice of character to portray the dream and the 5 Alices is practically spot on. All in all, the perfect fan video for any fan of the song and show for this Halloween. Number 8. Pyromancers Misadventures, The Mystery Misfits by Z Pyromancers. In this Halloween special, some of the members of a group known as the Pyromancers, which briefly consists of Aku Wago, the Fox Smasher, Electrostar, a former Ike Smasher turned scout, Shugo, the Pachirichu mascot of the team, Melotaku, another former Smasher turned Rauba from a popular game, I think, the Never-Ending Twilight, aka TNT, a pseudo-Lucario Smasher, Garth, the Red Engineer, L.E., the Blue Engineer, Light Brawler, another former Smasher but as a Mars Smasher, Bella, another former Smasher who's now a Sylveon Pokemon, and lastly Ryo, the Samurai Koopa. Must solve a Scooby-Doo-like mystery at an old mansion, where things get, well, goofy to put it short. The animation, though computer-based, is pretty decent and the story itself is enjoyable to watch, even if the movements are about 50% decent and not too stiff. It's cute, it's fun to watch, basically it's worth looking into for some Halloween fun, even despite the language.
Do you guys realize what this means? Well, I fucking don't! Ugh, screw it. Mello,
See
turn
what I
your head
mean?
to the window.
Number 7. Key sings The Oogie Boogie Mare, featuring The Wilstonator, a Nightmare Before Christmas parody by Keyframe. Once again, I know there have been many covers to the popular movie and have been ponified, but this is actually another one that's done very well. In skit-wise, it starts off with Despio, a unicorn and member of the Brony community, picking up Keyframe, another unicorn and member of the Brony community, for a party hosted by their friends. However, it quickly turns into a moment of horror for him as Keyframe sings a female, or rather male version, of the song Oogie Boogie Man. Of course, in the end, it turns out to be a Halloween, again, Nightmare Night in Brony's case, prank. This was a cute rendition of the song, and the skit was enjoyable. Basically, even if you're not a fan of My Little Pony, you're sure to enjoy this song. Number 6. Edgar Allan Poe's Murder Mystery Dinner Party by Shipwrecked. In this web series, some of history's famous authors are having a dinner party at Edgar Allan Poe's home, yet it quickly turns south as murder takes place, and the group must find the culprit before they all die. The actors and actresses in this are not only very talented, but quite a few of them are actually well known for their works with StarKid, an independent performance company who's known for their rather humorous yet amazing plays such as A Very Potter Musical, Starship, Holy Musical Batman, and many others. But that's a review for another time. Anyway, the portrayal of the authors is very impressive, and they actually stick with a great deal of facts on their histories. The location of said series is very grand, as it were, and the story itself, while a bit comical, it's very well done and leaves the viewers wanting to see what happens next. Trust me, it's worth the watch this Halloween. Number 5. 9 Mercenaries at Freddys by Pardoxia. In this fan story, the Red Team of Vanco have to take a job at Freddy's Pizzeria due to the fights being put on hold. What they don't realize, however, is that they're about to face something possibly far more serious and frightening than anything they've faced before. As the story progresses, not only do they dig deeper into the history of the pizzeria, but at one point, Scout starts seeing visions of the past when he's supposedly taken by Golden Freddy. It's very well written, and it stays true to the original stories of both games. And, admittedly, there's one point near the end of the story where one of the mercs end up dying, and it ends up hitting one of the other mercs hard. Not saying who, since I've already revealed enough as it is. So go and read this. I promise it's worth it, especially for this holiday season. Number 4. Hocus Pocus, I Put a Spell on You, a Hocus Pocus fan video by Working with Lemons. Gotta admit, of all the fan music videos of the popular favorite songs that are out there, this is one of the best and most impressive I've seen. And that's just because they managed to do all this in just a few days. Like any true music videos, at least in my opinion, this tells the story of a group of kids out trick-or-treating who decides to take a shortcut through the woods. As they make their way, one of the kids tripped over the witch's book and decides to read from it. This, of course, leads to the Sanderson sisters being set free from said book, thus leading to the song in which the witches start gathering the kids together, hypnotizing them all. Well, save for 3 who managed to save the others by placing their candy sacks over the witches' heads at the end of the song. The people in this video are obviously very talented with how they portray the characters. The effects they use are decent, and the location, song cover, and storytelling are practically perfect. Not to mention that, as I said before, they managed to put this all together in a matter of days is very impressive. Truly worth the watch, especially for a fan of the movie on Halloween. Number 3. Double Feature, a Team Fortress 2 fan story by Demon Fox 38. Now I have to admit, of all the somewhat horror movie inspired fan stories, this one is one of the best I've read in a long time. In this TF2 story, Miss Pauline and the Red Mercs are invited to a little get-together at one of the Man Manors on Halloween night. Yet soon it becomes a night of horror and survival when it turns out to be a trap. Now the group has to find a way out while fighting vampires, zombies, plant creatures, and many others, including a contraption created by Engineer's grandfather. For more info on him, just look up the comic Loose Cannon. Anyway, this story is very well written and practically captures your attention with each chapter, that you can't help but cheer for the group as they fight their way to get out of the nightmare of the manor. The characters in the story are exactly as they are portrayed in the game, and then some. Heck, the author definitely lives up to what one famed author used to say concerning how writing is like painting a picture with words. In short, it's practically the perfect Halloween story for a true Team Fortress 2 fan. Number 2. Pyromancers Misadventures, Necronomicon Nightmare by Z Pyromancer. In this Halloween YouTube video, the members of the Pyromancers, save for Belle, since she wasn't even there at this point, are dealing with a cursed book called the Necronomicon, which pretty much turns their house into a horror home and tries to kill everyone. Well, technically there's also Cheesecake, Electric Star's annoying Pikachu, but he's, well, preoccupied with something else.
Best show ever!
Anyway, the whole disaster starts when Shugo ends up releasing some evil spirits or demons from the book, thinking the spell he found would have stopped the book's evil. From there, the group either gets possessed, killed, or briefly brainwashed. In the end though, Shugo finds the right spell and sets things right again. Despite the small amount of blood and body parts, this is actually a pretty impressive video. The dialogue, the backgrounds, the story, which still a bit cheesy and cliche, is not bad. Even the animation using Gmod, despite being only about 50% movable and 50% still, is very well done. Not to mention that it has a good balance between comedy and horror. So, if you like random people using iconic characters as their aviators going through a cheesy horror-themed adventure, this is the one for you. And the number 1 Halloween special is Five Nights at Freddy, the animated movie, by Secret Force Studio. While it's true there's many types of animated shows, movies, and music videos of the popular game series Five Nights at Freddy's on YouTube, this is actually one of the few very well done versions of the game's lore, even if unfinished at the moment. Unless it's already finished and this video is just late concerning that one. Anyway, in this version of the lore, the story switches between the points of views of certain characters at certain points of the story. It varies between the head detective Jonathan Smith, one of the missing children, and a journalist named Linda Jones, at least so far. Not only that, but it literally follows the lines of when the games themselves were released. The voice acting is pretty impressive, the computer animation is smooth, imagery is extremely well done, even the blood works. And aside from some of the voice acting, the whole thing is put together by one person. Now that's what I call dedication. So, for this Halloween, if you want to see one of your favorite horror games with a twist to the lore you'd hardly expect, this is the one for you.
And there you have it. Some a bit kiddish, some slightly scary, but all fun to watch or read or listen to in the case of new music. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this web special, and even if you don't like some of the stuff you check out from the list, that's okay. It's your opinion. And let's face it, not everybody's gonna like the same thing. Anyhow, hope you guys have a fun and safe Halloween. And
Are we actually gonna expect the next episode soon at least?
do I have to snap my fingers again, Artie?
No, you don't have to. I'll be quiet.
Didn't think so.
Sorry.
Like I said, he's cute and admittedly also fun to be with. But when he's like this, he's annoying as heck.
At least I'm still cute when I'm annoying.
Artie!
Sorry.
Anywho, this is Ashley Winsong, signing off.